Cap Club Bar with today's edition of the Cap Club podcast. I'm Digital Bacon. Joining me in the bar today is, of course, Tubraka back and
dude,
Flex
once again.
Bunny.
Hello.
Oh, sorry?
He's back again? Bunny's back again?
Yes, I'm back again.
Wait, is he a regular now?
It's a
Confirmed?
back to back.
Is he confirmed regular? Part of the gang?
So, Chu, this is Bunny's final test today.
Oh, okay.
The final audition. And that is, he's got to play a game first. We need to see the Bunny skill. Both me and you are watching him right now. And Buns, what game are you playing today, my dude?
Playing Doom Eternal.
Oh.
Playing, yeah. Well, that's it. I can't really say more about it.
Isn't this the game?
We're gonna kill some demons.
Isn't this the game about 2020?
Yeah, pretty much. This is like, this is what happens after COVID is gone.
Oh, sick, dude. You can't wait. Spoiler alert for everyone watching on YouTube.
Yeah, look at that. That's Earth.
That's right there, dude.
So,
Great.
I haven't actually played this game yet. I've downloaded it, Buns, because, you know, Game Pass, Bethesda got bought out by Microsoft, didn't they? So all those games are on there. I've got this
that's actually
downloaded,
good.
so there might have been a little cheeky point earlier on before the podcast where I said, you know what, can you go back to the start? Purely because I don't want spoilers myself. And you were quite a way in, weren't you?
No, not really.
Oh.
But it's alright.
I mean, you were a
halfway.
little bit in there.
Yeah,
I
a
mean,
little bit in there. Still, it would have probably been a bit of spoilers, but hey, man.
I did
We'll
watch you stream it. When
Yeah,
you were
that's
streaming
true.
This game.
Gonna go for the new experience, you know.
New
Everyone
experience.
wants to-
I see you have a weird skin though. You have like a weird
Yeah, we got the hot
yellow
rod skin.
hot rod skin. Yeah. It's not the actual Doom guy, but it's still
It's
still
not
allowed.
the actual Doom guy, but hey, man, he repainted his suit. It's alright.
He chimp pimping, as they say, right?
And I actually really
Pimp
do
chimpin'?
not like this
Pimp
suit
chimpin'.
purely because whilst in multiplayer it'd look really cool, won't it? But in single player where you can only see your hands, you've just got like piss yellow gloves. It's
Yeah.
not that good.
It did look a bit weird. That's definitely true.
I also usually prefer the normal skin anyways in any game. When I play a game, I usually prefer the normal, how they're supposed to look.
I don't
That's my
know.
opinion.
Because I loved the first, or you know, quote unquote, the first Doom game, like the first of this new generation of Doom, you know, where they've modernized it. I loved the Unicorn of Death skin, where it was a pink fucking unicorn Doom guy, and it was dope as fuck because it just looks so stupid, and I am so down for that, you know.
Yeah, but like, would you say it's better than the actual skin though, or would you prefer the normal skin? Like, it looks better. Because I think the normal skin is there for a reason, because that's how they envision the character, and the rest is there for memes, like the hot rod skin.
Okay, I get you. Yeah, if no, then if there is that sort of part
You
of
pick away this
meaningless-
guy.
It's
Yeah,
the
he's
same
not
as
having a
like,
good
you know, when
time.
you're playing Call of Duty, or I guess this is a good point to talk about, you know, like skins which you can buy DLC and all of that, because everyone loves customization within games, don't they? And I don't think I'm wrong if, like, in Smash, who uses the base, like the original skin in Smash? Because
Yeah, I was about to say. Me
I
too,
prefer-
man.
I prefer
I
the
always
normal
change
ones.
up the colors. I'm there going,
it
Chew,
depends,
if you
it
were
depends.
playing Mario, you're going for that Waluigi skin color, right? You know, the purple?
For Mario?
Yeah.
No, I would either
No,
play as
Mario's
American.
got Wario. It's Luigi that's got
Luigi.
Waluigi, ain't it? Yeah.
I don't know about it, dude. I think I would play normal Luigi because I prefer normal Luigi, but that's me, dude. It's my opinion, you know.
Mhm.
And like, I do think it's different in a game like Smash than in a game where it's all about customization. Because the only reason it's in Smash is because you can distinguish one another from one, you know.
That's fair.
You know, everyone to themselves. If you prefer, I don't know, Wedding Mario, then play Wedding Mario. But I prefer just the normal character because that's how I know the character. And I think that's, I mean, it's a reason why it's the most well-known character there is, isn't it, dude? Everyone knows the red hat guy.
So is that why, just to take a little tangent, in Rocket League, you want to collect all the cars, but you don't care about, say, the wheels and decals and that? Alright.
Well, it's mostly because I think the cars change the most, like in a visual way, and I mean even in gameplay way because of different hitboxes, you know. But still, like, I just like having different cars because they look different than a decal. I don't know. A decal is always limited to the colors you have. I think you can do so much more with new cars than a new decal. Fun fact: I have over 120 cars in Rocket League, by the way, viewers. Isn't that crazy?
That
Quite
is.
I've got-
crazy, not gonna lie.
Yeah, dude, I've got every car at least once, dude. Except for the partnership that they recently had, which was €10 for just one car. It was a bit too much for me.
Oh, the Ford Raptor.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a bit too expensive for
Or
my
not
liking.
Raptor,
Like,
sorry,
now-
the F-150.
The big question is, do you have the battle boss?
the Rocket Pass, you mean?
Or the battle boss?
Oh,
Fortnite
of course the
Battle
Battle Boss,
Boss,
dude.
yeah.
Of course it's the Battle Boss.
Nice.
Dude, I was
Okay.
grinding for it, dude. I was like, you know what? This is a meme vehicle, dude. I need to get it. And then it turned out to also be really OP, apparently, Bakon told me. Because it had like a new hitbox or something. Is it still OP or not?
Not OP, but
Oh.
it's like only the Battle Bus and the Merc share that hitbox, so it's very
Sick.
unique. And actually, pros are starting to, like, pros will use the Merc, and the Battle Bus is still like a meme car because it's the Battle
Mhm.
Bus. But
Yeah,
the hitbox is just as valid, right?
Yeah, it's the same car. It's
It's the
just
same
different.
car, yeah. It's just different skin.
When I was doing when I first played Rocket League for like the first I say year, maybe even longer, I didn't even realize they had different hitboxes.
And
I was just playing the game having fun, dude.
you were playing Rocket League back in like 2015, 2016, weren't you? So
Yeah.
back then, all the cars had different hitboxes. Them being like uniform as such, you know, them being there's only 4, I think 5 actually, different hitboxes, and all the cars just
Mhm.
share them. That was back in 2017, I think that change was made. So, yeah, like back when
Yeah.
you played, you just didn't realize that. I think.
I mean, even now, I don't really notice the difference because the difference is so small that, and like I'm not a professional player anyways,
Mhm.
so I don't think people like me and you will not really notice the difference. It's just more probably a mental thing, I think, at our level. That's what I think, because I never really noticed the difference between
You
cars.
surely can feel the difference between like an Octane and a Batmobile, right? Like they play very differently. But the
I
Merc to
don't know, dude.
Octane, I could feel you there, yeah.
Oh, it's a small difference to me, dude. And you know me, I like to press the randomize button and get a new car every time I play Rocket League, so. And I'm doing
Fair.
pretty well. I'm C2, so I don't think there's anything wrong with that, dude.
Mm.
Oh, is that a big demon over there? That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's a big demon, dude.
Okay.
Ah.
He's having a good
This
time on
game
Earth,
is
I
beautiful,
guess.
by the way. Like it, because all the effects, that like the smoke and particles, it's
Yeah.
just crazy what they've done with this, and it runs so well, doesn't it? As well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it does.
I mean, even on the Switch it runs well, which is a big feat. Like it's pretty hard to do that on the Switch, dude. And they managed to do it with still good graphics.
Have you had a chance to play Apex Legends yet
I have not.
on the Switch?
I'm- I'm not really a Battle Royale guy. The
Fair.
only Battle Royale I play is JabG, which is free to play on Steam. If everyone interested, it's a really good game. Please give it a try.
Hmm.
Totally
So I
accurate
was just
battlegrounds.
asking because it was Panic Button that did the port for this over to the Switch. They also
Mm-hmm.
did Rocket League and they did Apex Legends. And
Oh.
Apex Legends, you wouldn't choose to play it on the Switch if that makes sense. But the fact
Yeah.
that you can play it is pretty darn cool. And
I mean, even Rocket League, when it first released, I remember playing it because I don't know, I bought it for some reason on the Switch. It was running really bad, in my opinion, at least at the start. I mean, I appreciate they even acknowledge it because they did a lot of changes to the game to make it run smoother.
the game runs fine now, like quote unquote fine. In
As far as you can
single
get.
player, but as soon as you try and play like 2-player, heck, 4-player, I don't think you can even play. It just no,
Oh.
just it gives up on life really. But the fact that you can play Rocket League on a small little console like that just makes me think: why did they move? New Rocket League game, Sideswipe. Why
Yeah.
did they make a whole brand new game for that instead of trying to port it on over towards mobile? Because I bet you, like, the new iPhones, the new Samsung Galaxies are more powerful than Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, but do you think it would be nice to play on a phone? I doubt it's gonna be playable on a phone, like normal Rocket League. In its 3D space aerial, it's gonna be impossible on a phone, dude.
I don't know, because when you look at everything that's going on with games right now with cloud gaming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've given it a try. I've played a little bit of Frostpunk. Admittedly, it's not Rocket League in a high active game, but it's still a PC game through and through. I played that with touch controls on my phone, and I've got a pretty crap phone in the sense of I bought it for 150 quid like 2 years ago. So I don't ever buy expensive phones because they're not for me, right? Don't need them. but it played very well, and I was super surprised. So,
Hmm.
and you're seeing now all these expansions, like the Razer phone, LG, rest in peace, their phone department, as they've now stopped making phones. But one of their last phones was a gaming phone. Asus have got one as well, where the whole point is that you can have like Switch-like add-ons. You put them into the USB port in the phone, and can basically have your phone become a Switch if you want it to. And so the mobile game industry is the biggest out of any of the gaming industries on its
don't
own.
forget
Yeah, but,
Razer.
I mean-
always pushing that phone.
I mean, there's so many neat add-ons you play it normally, like even on the Switch. So I don't really see like I'm not gonna
Or-
buy an add-on for my phone.
No,
just to
but
play a
what
few games.
like that's because that's more of a comfortability aspect. If you look, any Bluetooth controller, take the heck even the PS3 controller can work with your phone.
Okay.
So you can just hook that in.
Yeah, but like
I've-
I don't know anyone who's gonna play mobile games at home. They only play it when they're gonna travel somewhere, So I don't really see why you would want it on your phone, because you probably prefer it on your console or I guess the Switch.
It's
And
more that
especially in, like, Rocket
portability aspect to it, though. And like, if you look at even to the Switch, right, having a small little controller is way better than the Joy-Cons. Like, I love the what's it? Not the 8-bit Do. What is it? SM30 Pro Plus. I love that controller through and through, but they also make like smaller SNES style controllers for like 2D games and that, and they're super portable, like to the point you could just put them in your pocket and it wouldn't be an issue.
It's the same as the Joy-Con, isn't it? You can put it in your pocket.
Yeah.
You can put the screen on your left pocket and the Joy-Con on your right pocket. And that's how it's portable, but like I don't know, it doesn't seem worth it to me to have a controller with me just to play a game on my phone.
Yeah, but it's more the point of you've already got your phone on you, so just to carry around a small little controller that's not bigger than a passport, for example. Maybe it's a little bit bulkier, but it's that sort of size. And you just want to play a game. Say you're over your girlfriend's house, of course. You're just chilling there, whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know what? Let's get a little couple of games of. I'm just thinking of the Microsoft Cloud stuff, because to me that makes the most sense gaming-wise these days. Is you can have full AAA games on your phone instead of Raid Shadow Legends, which whatever.
Hey,
like
it's a good game, man.
it's not going to. Yeah, it's a fine game. It's what it is. But for me, that's not. I'm not a big mobile gaming fan. I would rather have that controller. I would rather play an emulator of like old SNES games.
Risky.
Yeah.
Risky man.
I own
Nintendo looking
those
for you right now.
games, so it's fine. That's the way it should work.
Nintendo's looking for your location right now, dude.
Shouldn't have said that, man. That's a bit of it's dangerous.
Yeah, dude. And next you're gonna podcast go live, dude. Oh man, background is gone, guys. This is me and Bunny left. Main event Bunny. It's
Well,
finally
even
happening.
then, if you guys,
Finally happening.
that thing's so cute. I love him. He wants to rip your head off.
He
Have
does.
you seen the sort of like new rise in little small portable emulator devices that are trying to be like the size of an old Game Boy Advance or a DS, yet you can play everything up to like the N64 on them?
I have not seen them, but it doesn't surprise me. Because emulating is really big, especially Nintendo, of course. Which also why we're memeing about the whole Nintendo Ninja situation. Because if they find out, dude, you can be in trouble, dude, big trouble. So, better watch out.
Nintendo's a weird one because every single other company is like, you know what, let it be. It's just Nintendo being Nintendo, and they've surely got a right
those
to
old-fashioned. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, not in the wrong, but it's just like they don't have to do it. But it's not like they're doing anything illegal or anything that's not like weird. It's just that they want to protect their old IPs, probably because they want to earn money from it. You know,
I get it when
maybe
it
some
comes
plans.
down to stuff that they're currently actually putting out, right? So NES and SNES games, I sort of get if they're on the Switch online, service. You can get Nintendo Switch online, then you get some NES and SNES games.
yeah.
If they're offering them, I can understand that. Yeah, it shouldn't be, because for me, it's more about the preservation of old games and being able to play those old games. So Nintendo offering a way to play them, I can get Nintendo getting angry at it. But when it comes to, let's just say, I was about to say Pokemon Red, but technically you can get a 3DS still, even though they're no longer being manufactured. They're still being sold, aren't they?
Yeah, of course.
But if it comes to a game that's no longer able to be bought because, you know, it's 20 odd years old, like when you're looking at Pokemon Red, you're looking closer to 24, 25 years? 25, yeah. Because this year is currently a Pokemon, ain't it?
Yo, Pokemon year, let's go, anniversary. Post Malone, Claygo.
Let's go.
That Post Malone gig was actually quite good. If Nintendo do that numerous times again with different celebs, I'd be down. But yeah, if they're not offering those games currently out, like you're seeing so many different devs put out, like the Sega collection, the Atari collection. If they're not doing that, then I think emulation should be allowed because it's the way to play them. But if, you know, the Atari collection's out there and you go and try and emulate an Atari game, I've got no problem with Atari coming after you and being like, hey, this ain't right, because you could play it. It's more about an accessibility issue rather than, I guess, copyright in any form.
But at the end of the day, it's still, I guess you could see as piracy, because you know, you didn't pay for it. But it's like a weird case because they're not offering you to buy it somewhere else, but like it's not like they're in the wrong either, you know. It might look like a dickhead move that they're doing, like it might look like a stupid move on their side, but I just think that in general it's really about protecting their old IPs, like to an extent where they, it might sometimes be a bit unnecessary, where they go out of their way to protect it. And I also think it's stupid because they can make so much more money if they actually make those games accessible on the Switch, you know, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people would still buy it if they could play it on the Switch. If they could buy it.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't think... So, is that the same for you guys? Not trying to fess up or, you know, get you in the shit or anything, because my best example of that would be Xenoblade Chronicles 1, right? On the Wii, that was impossible to get a hold of. Like, Atari, I think it was, did the publishing for it, and, or they did, like, not the publishing, but they did the publishing in America and Europe. So Nintendo published the game in Japan, and then Atari were just sort of like contracted to bring it over here and do the translation and handle that aspect of it. But it was just so rarely put out. I don't think they even, you know, made in Europe and America 1 million copies between the two continents, which is nothing, right? So I can remember being at that time like 18 years old or whatever, probably even younger, and if I wanted to get a copy of the game, I'd be having to fork out like 150 quid, which for 16-year-old bacon was just not possible. So I didn't get it. And I actually emulated it when the Wii U was around, like years and years later. The 3DS came out, and the version of it came out. The definitive one.
He's on the chopping block, dude.
No. It'll come around. No, because I think like this is a big problem within the industry, so I'm going to put it out there. So the 3DS version comes around, but it's one of like, I want to say the only 3 or so games available in Europe, which were only for the new 3DS, which is still an issue today, you know, with like all this thing about the new Switch, and everyone's worried that you're going to get new Switch exclusives.
That'll be cringe.
That's the reason why, is that game. So I actually bought that game without realizing, putting it into my regular 3DS, and was like, why can't I play this? Had to get a refund. As soon as it came out on the Switch, I bought the shit out of that game launch day. So there's a big problem with accessibility, even with modern games, not only old games, that I think a lot of fans want to do right. You know, there's also like a lot of people saying with indie games, or, you know, even AAA games, they're fine pirating them. If they like the game, then they'll buy them. It's sort of in the same vein as, you know, with Steam, you get the 2-hour sort of return window, right? So it's people just sort of doing that, but off their own backs. Now, not everyone's going to be so white knight about it, that and following through with those rules, but I reckon there is a significant number of people, and that will follow through and buy the game if they enjoy it. But also, if you give those availabilities, others will come on board to it.
Well, I think the majority is never gonna buy the game ever. I think they're gonna keep playing the free version. Yeah, and like it's piracy. Like I already said it before. Like I feel like people who are pirating in the first place probably can't spare a lot of money anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So they prefer to just get paid for free, and if you do like it, they're probably just gonna keep playing it for free. I don't know if Barney has anything to add to this, but
I mean, I don't want to put myself out there because it's a
Well,
podcast already.
okay,
But
dude.
yes,
We all know that you don't do any
What?
What do you call it? The thing we were talking about the whole time, dude.
piracy.
Well, not piracy. Emulating. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Barney. I mean,
emulate.
yeah, Pokemon, right? You on your
Pokemon
phone.
a lot.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, even I did some emulation.
Yeah,
did
you
before.
did it, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
And it was alright, but the thing is, I used to do a lot of piracy. I mean, come on, there were a shit ton of games that everyone wanted to play.
yeah.
You were 14, you didn't have 500 euros to spend on all those games, so you just pirated them.
Big money.
But I do
Well,
have to
well,
say,
it depends. I think
yeah,
it's
it did depend, because if there was if there was actually a game where I would be like, yo, this is actually good. I had it where I bought a pirated game, and then I looked at it, I was like, well, this is an actual good game. You know what? I might as well just buy it, because these days, pirated games are way better, but 2014 era, if you like got a pirated game, you would have a very big problem with just the FPS. Like it would always be crap FPS.
Well, that's because
If you had
the
a-
anti-piracy
if you had a
measures and all of that, you know. So
Yeah, if you had a beast PC, you could probably maybe get a solid 60 FPS, but
I mean, I was more talking about it depends. Like, if it's an old game, I think it's fine because if it don't really.
yeah, I mean, if it's an old game, I don't even mind at all, because look, if you really want to play this game, let's say with the Pokemon that I emulated on my phone, like I really wanted to play it, but hey,
You can't
it's hard to
live.
get.
Yeah.
What, you think I'm gonna sit there like with a Game Boy? It isn't that bad, but like, I'm on school. I just want to have it on my phone.
it's a
I think
convenience
they
thing,
released
right?
it,
Like I said,
I
it's
would've probably bought it.
accessibility. Your old, like, take for example, the Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal. Those carts are near enough all dead right now because the batteries inside them
Yeah.
means that the timer it's just no longer working. Which
I mean, I did
time was a massive part of
see
those
on
games
YouTube
because
that
you had
could
90 days
actually,
cycle.
I did see on YouTube that you can actually like reset the battery. I don't know how, but
You
there
can
is a
replace the
tutorial.
batteries
Yeah.
in them, but I mean, just put it there. That is not, I would argue, an easy thing to do for normal
Oh
people.
no, not at all.
It's not,
Not
well,
at all.
it would actually be quite easy, but it's just more for the common person to open up a game cart, get in with text. It's like how people say, oh, building a PC, is it easy? It's like just putting adult Lego together. Yes and no. Like, if you know what you're doing, you should be able to do it if you've got tutorials there. But to the common person, that's daunting to put a PC together, isn't it? And knowing which parts work with each other. So it's the same with opening up even, just a game cart to replace a battery. Just make it accessible. And like I said, I can be a little bit on the bench there because like, emulating should only be okay if you've got a copy of that game. But then the issue comes in, what if that copy's not available?
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm saying I think it's a different. Like, there's two different kind of, I guess, emulating. You also have emulating where you emulate a new game, which I think is just piracy. That is wrong.
Yep.
There's no need to do it with a new game. If it's like an old game which is hard to get, like, I don't know, like if getting an N64 with Mario Kart 64 is pretty hard to get nowadays, isn't it? So,
Yep.
like, if you want to emulate that game, that's fine because that game is not really gonna earn any money nowadays, anyways. But I think it's wrong to take away the money for a game company because it's so many people working on that game that have to, I guess, live from the money they earn from the games eventually. Because if they don't earn enough money, then they might cut some people off and they lose their job. So I think it's wrong if you do it to a new game, but an old game which doesn't really give any money to them anyways anymore, then I think it's fine.
Well, it gives zero money to him. If anything, you'll give him money to someone that's reselling. Nintendo's not
Yeah,
seeing
they
any
put
of
it on
that,
there,
so,
and then
yeah.
you get an ad fly, and then they get some money.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think then it's fine to emulate an old game.
Mm.
Like I'm saying, new games that just straight up piracy, and I think that's just wrong because people have to live from those sales. If they
And
buy it, you know.
and off the same vein, what then if, say, just take Mario Kart 64, you can't currently play that on the Switch. If that was to become available on the Switch, how would you feel about emulating the N64 version of it? So you're not pirating the Switch version, whether that just be a straight up port, like an emulator there, how
Isn't
would
it
you
like
feel about that in that case?
Isn't
I
Mario
mean-
64 the game that you can actually play on Switch?
Mario Kart 64, I thought
Yeah, okay.
you said.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I would say like you already have this case of like Bunny said, the whole 3D All-Star pack. Anyways, if you think about it, because a lot of people said, I'm not gonna spend any money. I'm just gonna emulate it all on my PC. And I mean, if you want to do it, go for it, dude. But I still think it's a bit wrong because they are offering you a way to, buy it.
Well,
I
not
mean,
anymore.
it's a hard case. Well, not anymore now, but like, it's a hard case, and I don't know.
I
It
was about
just
to say, it was out there. The option was there.
it was there for 6 months, but then again, like some people were talking about. I mean, the whole point was to trick people into buying it, of course. Like, I'm pretty sure they talked about this last week
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
so
yeah,
don't
we
have to
did.
go too much into detail, but. They do it every anniversary pretty much. They bring a game out for a short time, then they remove it again because it's supposed to be anniversary, you know. And then force you to buy it. So I guess if you still want to emulate the old version, I guess go for it because it's not like they're really working into that version anymore. Because this version was a kind of an upscale, and also it's easier because I bought it because I want to play those games on my Switch at some point, you know. And I think it's easier to have them on Switch than having to emulate them or get my Wii out to play Galaxy. That's why I bought it, because I think it's easy to take along with me.
That's fair. And I think that's also it, like the ease of it. Like you were saying, Buns, emulating a Pokemon game on your phone. Like, so you don't have to carry around a Game Boy Advance, which, or
I
a
know.
DS or whatever, which you already have. You've already got the copy of the game, but when it's going to run pretty much as well on your phone, it's just an ease factor. You've already bought it, you've already got the rights to play it, so there shouldn't be an issue if you choose to download it onto another thing. It's the same with like, so I know when it comes to PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 and all of that, their only problem is the BIOS, is the actual hardware. That's where Sony comes into issue with that. So what you got to do is flash your own console's BIOS onto a emulator to get it to run. You can, naturally, of course, go download a BIOS, but that's the illegal part of it. Because, and again, playing a game that you don't know is illegal, but the ROM's going to be the ROM because it's just a flash of the image of the files on the disc. That's as long as you own a copy of that disc, you're fine there in, say, Sony's eyes, but then you've also got to flash your version, like what was on your PS1, to the emulator. If you're getting one off the internet, that's illegal there, which I agree with wholeheartedly because that's you taking across your own system. The problem still stands, though, about the preservation, because what if you're, let's say, a 14-year-old kid right now that's getting into retro games, you're not old enough to be around when the PS1 was around. Like, your first console at 14 was probably, what, a Wii?
Wii U? Probably
The Wii was probably there at like 5 years old, right? So
DS, 3DS.
yeah. So those old consoles, even the Game Boy Advance, are retro games to you. How do we go about getting those games to the younger generations? Because they've got just as much right to play it, but naturally, you look now to buy a N64, take that as the example, you're looking at about 200 quid online, which is not cheap, not accessible. You're getting it secondhand, which you can't guarantee is going to work, you know, because you're buying secondhand. There's no regulated market. You're just going on eBay and trusting a seller there. So there's got to be a way for these game companies to give those retro games in a good fashion, other than Nintendo with the FOMO 3D All-Stars collection, right?
No, but like I said earlier, FOMO was for every anniversary. They just
Yeah.
it's an exclusive deal, but still, like it's up to the developers of those games to sell them again. And like I said, I don't understand why they're not doing it, because clearly there's a big market to it, and a lot of people would still buy it when their old games get ported to the Switch. You know, like I don't think anyone's gonna complain if they actually bring that. I think also on the Wii U as well, that emulator app thing where you can emulate multiple games on the Wii U, but you could buy on the Wii U. Like, I think everyone would like that, because then you could play games like Mario Party 1 on your Switch. You know, I think it's only good for
The
everyone.
Wii U and
Nintendo.
3DS were fantastic for emulation on them.
Yeah,
Like that
and it seems
Nintendo
that-
offered, weren't they?
It seems the Switch is lacking that things, which is weird because, like I said, there's probably big money in it for them as well. Unlike the same, I guess, could be said about the whole, because of course it all went wrong during the whole Smash Melee drama, where they also made it to go online and stuff. Like, Nintendo could probably make so much more money if they made their own servers where they could play Melee and stuff online. I guess on another, you know. It's just weird to me that I'm not looking into it, doing that stuff.
Did you guys hear about, I think it was Super Mario World or something on the Wii U, where they'd actually used a corrected or, like, you know, somewhat altered ROM, which was a fan-made one online. So they'd literally, for their emulated version, their official one on the system, they had stolen it technically from a fan-altered site. So even Nintendo there themselves, it is clearly a money issue for Nintendo rather than, you know, goodwill letting fans do it. Because if they're happy because they just see that as their own property, right? If they're happy to, like, basically download it from a third-party website, then clearly it's just got to be about money. Yet they're not actually capitalized upon it. So it almost feels like a child with their toys, you know, and they're in the daycare center, they're in nursery, whatever, and they're currently playing with the little Tonka truck, the little tractor, and then they put it down. Another kid comes along and picks it up, and then suddenly Nintendo turns around and goes, "No, that's my toy. I was playing with that." "No, you weren't." "Yes, I was. I want it back now." And it just feels like greed through and through.
I mean, it's funny because when you think about Mario 3.5 also for the anniversary, it's already been done before by a fan, and they took it down themselves because there was like this whole Mario Royale thing going on. And it wouldn't surprise me if they just took the idea, but like, hey, that's actually a pretty good idea, let's do it ourselves. I wouldn't surprise me if they did that.
And it's one of those where you see it within other companies, generally from modding. Like, take a look at I was about to say Minecraft modding, but yeah.
Yeah, but also
Minecraft modding is a big one. Skyrim and Fallout for Bethesda games, where modders for those games can then use that as a portfolio to get other jobs. Nintendo just absolutely seem to hate on it for, like, the theft of their property as they see it. And I feel like you should try and embrace it and, you know, use goodwill. It's not always about piracy as such, but like I said, the accessibility aspect to it, or when it comes to modding, it's just trying to, you love the game so much that you want to add on. And especially when it even comes down to, just to take Skyrim as the example, patch mods where they fix the game for them. Like, they are fantastic, and that's purely, the modders aren't making them for money. They're not looking for money. It's just pure love of the game, and that should be cherished by developers, because they've got to just look at it and go, these guys love what we put out so much that they're even willing to sort of see past the bugs and purposely go out their own ways so that other people don't have to deal with those bugs. It's not about doing our job for us, but it's just that they're wanting to improve the experience because they want this game to be the best it can be. And that is just, that's got to be adored. It can't be shunned.
I don't know. I don't really have anything to say about, like, it seems that I guess good developers just use those modders for their own benefit, because clearly those mods, people like those mods, and, you know, adding them into your actual game is good for everyone. You can look at Minecraft, they added horses because it's a mod with horses, you know. And I think with Nintendo, they've always been old-fashioned, because And I think it's not until recently until they actually allowed videos on YouTube. Before that, they removed all your videos if you weren't partnered with Nintendo. You know, I think it was in 2018 where they switched to everyone can now post Nintendo-related videos.
Yeah, I remember that.
But before that, you got your video taken down for having Nintendo video and not being partnered with Nintendo. So it just seems that Nintendo team, I don't know. I mean, it's of course like the games are good and probably not the developers. 'Cause it's usually not the developers who are doing it. It's just this whole other team. And I've been told that apparently the Nintendo of America team is probably apparently the worst team in about this stuff. And it just seems they're really old-fashioned about copyright.
Well, remember
And
when they first let everyone, like they took it away from their very select list of Nintendo content creators, when they put it out to
Mhm.
everyone, you
Yeah.
you had to go sign up and basically become part of a program where Nintendo got half of your earnings from it.
Yeah.
Which
See, so like
Ni-
it just only proves the point that it's
Hmm.
really old-fashioned about how they handle the copyright and stuff.
I don't know if you can even call it old fashioned because there are so many like that for me is a brand new thing. I think it's just Nintendo continuously looking for money, and in so many ways, like we shun EA and Ubisoft, right? When Nintendo are doing some things that are worse, the only problem is that's their, I guess, marketing business
Yeah,
department
it's a different
that's dealing
team.
with
Like,
it, because the actual games themselves are spectacular from Nintendo, aren't they? I get you can argue with ports and remakes, like take the Wii ports that like Pikmin 3 whatever come into the Switch and it's a direct port, yet it still costs $60 and you're just like, is that really okay? But that's part of that sort of business to turn to reapply these games. That's not the developers themselves, because that's a
Yeah.
fantastic game nonetheless. The original guys that made it did a fantastic job. So Nintendo's in this weird case of you love them for the games they make, but hate them for their business strategies, which is so odd right now.
I mean, I feel like Nintendo just knows how much the games are worth. Like they know
Mm.
that games are good, so they can just put a high price on it because people buy it anyways.
Mm.
And especially with the whole Pikmin 3, I think that's mostly because it was ports from the Wii U, and the only reason it did ports is because the Wii U sold so poorly, and the Switch is selling so much better than I'm pretty sure almost all their consoles at this point. They already have 80 million sold copies, so I think they just wanna resell their games that were. I mean, they were still good games, they were just on a shit console, you know.
Yeah. Well, take
There's-
Mario Kart
there's
8
nothing-
Deluxe, right? They've just
best-selling Mario Kart
broke
game.
the record, and that's just Deluxe, not the original Wii U,
Yeah.
the Wii U version. That's just the Switch version, which is now the best-selling racing game in American history. That's
Mhm.
crazy, and that's a port of, like, what Mario Kart 8 is technically. I want to say it came out in 2012, so that makes it nearly 9 years old.
I think it was 2014, but I could be wrong.
Might have been.
2012
was
for
it-
what?
Mario
Number
Kart
8?
8.
Nah,
Yeah,
no, no,
number
no.
8.
2012, I was still playing 7.
2014,
Okay,
I
so
guess.
it might
but-
be 2014. Like the Wii
mean-
U's weird because it was in between, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and the Wii was a weird phase to it, but like I said, still good games, and I think ports are not really a bad thing, anyways, because
No.
why would I buy a port for, let's say, Mario 3D Land or 3D World? Because I already played the full game. I'm not gonna buy it again. Same with Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, and like I don't mind them making it 60 full price because it's still the same game, it's still a good game. But a lot of people didn't have the chance to play it because the Wii U was so bad. Only like 70 million copies sold. So I don't think selling it for full price is really bad. Same with Pikmin 3, because why would you and I buy the same game we already played before? And let's be honest here, it's not
Well-
like Pikmin is really a game you want to play multiple times. After
So-
you beat it once.
This comes into a point where I want to praise what Sony are doing with the PS5, and to some extension what Microsoft are doing with the new Series X stuff, and that's the upgrade path. If you bought the game on PS4, you get it on PS5. Buns,
Yeah.
like you're the one here with the PS5.
Yeah.
So
Ooh, okay.
when you got the PS5, right?
Yeah.
How many of your games were just straight up able to be played on the PS5?
Um, I haven't really tested it. I only know Ghost of Tsushima. That's the
Cool.
only one I know. I know for a
Alright.
fact that I just instantly got an upgrade version of that. I'm pretty sure. I won't say Far Cry. I have it, but I haven't tested it. I wouldn't be surprised if that also like is option. If the option is there for me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of big games you could.
Yeah, a
grab,
lot
Yeah.
of big games went over, so
Yeah.
it is alright.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, it's a good thing. There's nothing bad you can say about it. Like, I
mean,
mean, for
like-
everyone.
It's good. It's good. Like it's fun if you still want to play it, but if you already played it, like, yeah, I mean, you got it for PS5. It's alright. Runs
Yeah,
a bit better,
yeah.
but I already played it. But
But
it's
but
a good
it's
thing
more
that
the
they added
point
it.
that you don't have to
Yeah,
buy
yeah,
it
of course.
again on
No,
the
of course.
PS5 if you want to play it, because I'd imagine what your PS4 is now just like sitting in a cupboard somewhere, or is
Nah, it's
on
still
the
in the same
TV
spot.
downstairs.
It's,
Is
it's still in the same spot because the PS5 won't fit there. That thing is
Oh, chunky.
yeah,
very
but
jointy.
you don't have any intention to power it up.
No,
right?
no.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So in
Might
2
give it
years'
away, but-
time, when naturally the PS4 it's still going, but I mean you're on the PS5 right now, so you're not buying any
Yeah, of
PS4
course.
games, right? So 2
No.
years' time, when you've just decided to clean it away, you want to play a PS4 game, from the sounds of how Sony
yeah.
wants this to be played, you've just got it there on the PS5, which is
Yeah.
great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. But the thing that you can see is like all the free games that they're doing like in the months,
Mhm.
with PlayStation Plus. Those games are like pretty much all PS4 games, but they all ported them for PS5, so that's good. Like you can see that pretty much all the games are getting there. Like Days Gone got an upgrade, God of War, Control, that one game, I don't know, also free now. But yeah, it's good that they're doing it because some of the games I haven't played, and I wouldn't like if they didn't do it. I really wanted to play them, but I'm not gonna buy a PS4 use my PS4 for them.
I mean, someone like me, because I never really owned a PS4 myself. It would be a crazy good deal because I can play all the like classics from PS4.
Yeah, definitely a good deal.
So like that wasn't probably was the biggest reason for me to buy a PS5 because you can and play new games and play the old games that I never played before. Because like I said, I didn't own a PS4 myself.
I will say, you have to have PS Plus to have access to all of these. Which
Yeah,
for
it's
me,
online service, isn't it?
it's not. So not to just be there like Sony are all good, we're not fanboys or anything, because this is
No, it's
clearly
actually
a
different, by
marketing
the way,
strategy, right?
because
But it's one we want to praise.
Yeah, but it's like different because you have PS Plus, and then you'll get some good games, like
Mhm.
very good games somehow. I didn't really expect it when I bought it. And then you have the PlayStation membership. That's like the one where you get all the games. So there's like two different ones actually.
Isn't PS Plus
I
also
know there's
the
PS Plus
online
and PS Now.
service?
Yeah, PS Now, and that's PS Now has pretty much all the PS4 games. So you would have to buy that
So
separately.
I've got PS Now because, of course, on the PS4, and it's very hit and miss, and it is still very much locked into PS4. Like if you've got PS Now
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the
I checked it
PlayStation
out. It didn't
5,
look great.
because my little brother has PlayStation 5, uses the same accounts because you can.
Mhm.
And I think that's another thing where Sony are absolutely fine with people, like two people sharing the same account. Because that's technically like their idea of a family is two different consoles in the same
I
family.
mean, yeah. I mean, so Nintendo as well. I know.
Yeah,
probably
it
the
is
same
legit
place,
the same as how Nintendo take it. So for the one that doesn't have it as their main account, you've got to be online at all times when
Yeah.
using it, and you both can't be on this online at the same time whilst doing it.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
Um,
you can.
Not on the PS4 and PS5 stuff.
Oh,
Switch you can't you?
yeah, you can.
But basically, there was a big problem recently because Borderlands 3 and that Avengers game that came out last summer, which was bad, whatever,
Actually
came
doing
out on
alright,
PS
I
Now.
thought.
So
Yeah,
they're
it's,
big
it's
games.
actually decent now.
Is it decent now?
Yeah, they actually updated a lot.
So they're
Like
trying
a
to
No
basically
Man's Sky
fix it.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair. Hopefully that's
Good on them. Good
worth
on them,
the
dude.
play.
it's-
But at any rate, they came out on the PS Now, but they're just the PS4 versions. So if you put them into your PS5, you can play them, but they're locked to 1080p and all those qualities. So whilst those games are available on the PS5, they didn't put the PS5 version on the shop to download, which just seems very weird. And that's clearly they only bought the rights to the PS4 version for the platform,
So I'm wondering now. So the PlayStation has two services, like you have the PlayStation Plus and the PlayStation Plus. Then those two different services, right? Or the
PlayStation Plus and
PS Now.
PlayStation Now. PlayStation
okay.
Now is like the Xbox Game Pass,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
PlayStation Plus is just
It's
Xbox
like
Online.
Gold.
Yeah,
The
online,
service
yeah.
if you want to go online. But they updated it so that you now also it's like a really small PS Now, because you get God
Yeah.
of War, Days Gone, and well,
That's
some
only
other
on the
games, but-
PS5 that you get those.
Yeah,
On
oh
the
yeah,
PS4,
oh yeah. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
you only get them on PS5.
Well, yeah, it's probably like a marketing stunt to
yeah,
Yeah,
get these guys
it's
to
an
say.
incentive to get the
There
PS5
wasn't a
and
lot
upgrade.
to do when I
Yeah.
got the PS5, and then I saw PS Plus, and I was like, oh.
I mean, it's same every
that-
time, dude. A new console never has a lot of games on
Yeah.
them. I've been switching
No,
only
but this,
when I had
this
it
was
only.
really bad because if you, well, you had Miles Morales, and
Yeah, this was short. Apparently, he told me.
yeah, it was short. And I'm honestly like trying to think of what other game you could have bought at launch, but I feel like there isn't anything.
So
Well,
only
that's
ports then.
because both the Xbox and the PS5, because Xbox does the same with their Gold, where they give out, 2 games a month, just like PlayStation Plus does. But they both came out during Corona, only half a year
COVID
ago
times.
now. So a lot of games got delayed right up until you're starting to see them released now. So their launches were probably the worst launches ever for a console, right? Because the games just, or not, they did well
Oh.
considering because stock issues, right? But the games that are there on launch were
Mhm.
not good. So by bringing back the last generation of games, which the consoles have all the same architecture, just better hardware in them, because consoles are now just glorified PCs, right? It makes
Yeah.
perfect sense, and it gives people a reason to buy them because you've got the same games, but now you can actually play them in 4K. You can now play them at 60 FPS. Even, I think, some of the new options in the latest update for the PS5 is that there's a possibility to play at 120 FPS, dependent on the game, because it's now unlocked to that. And that's
I
a
think-
developer thing to do.
I think it's all on CTs as well. If you had the Xbox One X version, where you could either choose for 60 FPS, 4K, I think, or 120 FPS, 180p or something. I think it was something like that. So you can still choose if you prefer 4K or more FPS.
Yeah.
Which
Which is
is
fantastic. Because it's still, even with, even without the shortages that we're seeing right now across consoles, across PC components, because face it, like if you think it's bad with a PS5 or an Xbox right now, at least you can still get those at stock from GameStop or whatever, or Amazon, whichever shop you want, because they're just not available at proper MSRP for graphics cards, are they, right now, or CPUs? Like, the fact that a 3060 is worth like 800 quid right now is ridiculous. That card's meant to go for 260, I think it is, off the top of my head. That's an insane markup. I know you
Scalpers,
still
dude,
get
they're having the
scalpers
best
on
time of their
consoles,
life.
but yeah.
Yeah, Scalpers too. That's a whole
They're
different
legit
topic.
having the best time of their life right now.
Yeah.
These Corona times, dude. Bought up everything there is.
You know
I mean,
what?
the
And
PlayStation
in
5
some
sold
ways, I
records.
can't blame them. Like, it makes sense to do it, right?
Are you a scalper yourself, Bacon?
Nah, God no. I've got no
Oh,
reason to.
Okay.
Like,
Well,
I'm
I don't
not
know.
desperate for money, but I could see if people were there doing it. Yeah, I get it. If that makes
I don't
sense.
know. I think it's kind of nasty, in my opinion.
Oh,
It's
it's a
nasty,
dick
it's nasty,
move through and
nasty,
through.
but I mean,
Yeah, it's a dick
yeah.
move.
See,
for
it
sure.
is easy money.
It is
yeah.
money, but it's like, I don't know. It
Yeah, of course. I'm not saying
wouldn't
it's not a
surprise
dick
me.
move.
It wouldn't surprise me at all to just, buy 10 of them, but just sell them for more money. I don't know. It just seems like because some people like don't have a lot of money anyways, and they really want to play the PS5, and then because of you, they can't buy it anymore because they're all off the market, and now they have to buy a more expensive one in order to actually play it. I think that's it's cringe. If you're a scalper, you're cringe. I'm gonna be honest. If there are scalpers listening, you're cringe. There you go. I said it.
You said it.
I said it. Well, it's true, dude.
I don't want to be there. Like, circumstances can be different. Like, a lot of people would have lost jobs during Corona and all of that. So if they're doing this as a way to get by,
Well, I doubt it.
Still dick move.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
this
still
is
a
no
dick
way-
move nonetheless, but if it is literally so that you can live, I can abide by it, but that's because I'm not affected by it at all. I've got, I'm someone looking from the outside in. I've already got PC components, a decent enough PC I got beforehand. I don't care about the PS5 personally. I'll probably buy one in like 3 years' time when they've got the second gen like Sony do with
Yeah,
their
when
consoles.
they're finally available.
Yeah, and
Upgrade.
they're available. So for me, it's not hurting. And I'm looking at this as someone going, yeah, if like you got laid off from your job during Corona, and this is now how you can get by and make an income.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
doubt people are doing it because of they lost their job. Dude. I think it's
Exactly.
people that want easy money, and there's no need to have 10 PS5 anyways. And I'm pretty sure when the new iPhone releases and you go to a store to buy them, I'm pretty sure they only sell one a person, which I think is how they should do it because no one needs 10 PS5s. There's not a word that they want 10 PS5. They only need one, and maybe they don't have like their brother or something. but-
Yeah, after a while they changed it though. You had to like get accounts to do it.
Yeah, I just feel like they should like limit how many you can sell to someone. Because another example that comes to mind to me is when Amiibos were big, like really big.
Yep.
Oh man, I remember those times.
There was this one guy that like he hated Rosalina, the character like from Mario, Rosalina. So in order to make all the Rosalina fans mad who want to get the Amiibo for Rosalina, he bought like I think 200 of them, and just burnt them all and recorded it to make them mad. Like
Why?
that's just. Well, it's just someone.
Yeah.
He's a lot of money and he don't want to be a dick. Like it just doesn't make sense. It's just stupid.
do to say. That's funny.
I mean, it's still his choice, but it's like there's no need to do it. Like you're just ruining it for other people.
I look at that and just feel
Bad
so
morals.
bewildered, right? Because how can you be that petty? Like, to strongly care about a single video game character, to do that, like, literally spend money
Skip
just
on
to
it.
make other
Yeah.
people angry, like, oof.
I mean, it's just childish behavior. Like
Yeah.
you didn't develop in your life when you start doing this shit. Oh, and he's dead.
Oh, well, you hate to see it, dude.
First death.
First death, dude.
We almost the zero death gameplay, dude. Hate to see it.
I know.
That's it, got to restart now.
I'm sorry.
Vince.
Oh, I want to write this down on the mark sheet, dude. And it died once. Yikes.
I hate to see it.
Imagine that, but Buns doesn't come back next week. He died once.
He
during
died
Doom.
once.
Yeah.
Sorry, boys.
He messed it up, dude. I'm pretty sure last week on the Rise I didn't die once, dude. So he failed the test, dude. He's no longer part of the gang. He's going back to being a janitor.
Here, dude.
Going back to being a janitor. And the light still isn't fixed, by the way. The light still isn't fixed, dude. I want to be honest.
Yeah,
The light's
not
still
fixed,
broken.
dude.
Dude, it has to be either Bakul or Bunny, dude. Because Bakul lost the bet, and Bunny might become a janitor again. So one of you two has to do it.
I mean, Bunny's still, on his on his form, the janitor. He was just temporarily.
I don't think you get to. You don't get to choose, dude. I'm pretty sure Chew gets to choose. You
The
lost
CEO
bet,
doesn't
dude.
get to
You lost
choose,
the bet.
alright?
You lost
Yeah.
the bet, dude.
You did this Mario Kart, dude.
On
With 3
paper,
points.
I'm main event, dude.
Yeah, he is. He is. Also, it's funny because the Mario Kart one is, right now is the best one we had, dude. So there's so many viewers who watch that one, only that one. Dude, they all now think Bunny is the main event because they've only watched that one.
I think we're gonna have to do some Mario Kart again in the future, boys.
Oh,
I
Crash Team Racing.
thoroughly enjoyed Mario Kart. That was good. That was a good.
Christian racing it up, dude.
I don't have Crash Team Racing. You know that.
Oh, you
I
memer, dude.
scared.
He's scared, dude. Just
You
saying,
both
dude.
got it on Switch.
Yeah, dude.
Alright.
Dude, I used to be a professional Christian racing player, dude. I was top
Yeah, I can confirm that he
0.2%
was.
every month, dude, when I did seasons. But then I retired, dude.
So, which do you think is better, Crash Team Racing or Mario Kart? Chu?
Okay. No, dude.
I know what he's going for.
Crash Team Racing is a good game, dude.
Mhm.
But the items on that game are terrible. So it's not a new player is not gonna enjoy it as much as Mario Kart, I would say. And Mario Kart is also just a lot more laid back, dude. So if you want professional kart racing game, you should play Crash Team Racing because it's all about skill in that game. If you want to have fun, you play Mario Kart. Because Crash Team Racing is, I would say, really sweaty gameplay. Because the whole drifting mechanic where you save up your boost. So if you want to be competitive, play some Crash Team Racing. If you want to have fun with the boys, Mario Kart for sure. Especially because Crash Team Racing, there's no way you're gonna beat me ever in any race because I'm too good with Mario Kart. Anyone can win. Any three of us can win. That just makes it more fun, in my opinion, because it's chaotic. And I like chaos. And the only reason I played it so much is because of the freaking ranked and the pass. Because every time you run like the top 5%, you got a
cool car.
Yeah, good car with decal, dude. So I was like, you know what? I want to flex it up, dude. Maybe in 5 years, I'm gonna go back and be like, yo, look at this, dude. And like, what's that? Professional kart racing, kart for only professionals. Every month, every sticker, got them all.
Well, that's the weird thing about Mario Kart 8 is I look at Mario Kart Tour and what they're doing over there, and you sort of get a bit jealous. Like, it seems a little silly, but Mario Kart Tour is doing massive things with the Mario Kart franchise in like how they're able to just experiment, and expand it. Like they just had the Ninja event, right? Did you see that?
Ninja, yeah.
And
with Ninja Saga, with the katana, dude. Yeah, katana.
Dude, it was so cool.
I said before, Mario Kart Tour is hands down the best Mario Kart ever made, dude. Apart from maybe the pay-to-win features. Even though, like, at my level, it's only pay-to-win anyways. And they did change a lot of things to the game where even a free-to-play player can play it easily because you can get up to 60 gems minimum every tour, which is already 10 free pool. You also get 6 pipes you can get for free if you're just playing the game. And you get a golden from legendary every tour if you complete every race. So you already have completed legendary once, which you didn't have at the start. You also get events, which is also another Mario Kart. So if you look back at Crash Team Racing, I really like the whole store aspect and the challenges they had to unlock stuff. I just wish Mario Kart 9 is gonna do the same. And Tour is a lot like that game, but I want them instead of they have now, of course, with the whole gacha system, just make coins a system where the coins you collect during a race, you can buy it in a shop. Like characters or cars or decals.
They started doing that with 8, didn't they? Where you when you collect the coins in game after certain milestones, that's when you unlock new items. So it just comes down. We want them to, instead of unlocking new items that way, you have the base stuff earned from the game, like the very normal stuff, and then you get event items on top. And that I think is going to be the next big improvement for Mario Kart, is just straight up being able to have repetition to it, because that game is like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has not changed since launch. And
except for one thing, they added Breath of the Wild Link to the game. That's the only change.
They added what? Sorry.
Breath of the Wild Link.
Yeah, they did.
Now a skin, and you can also play with Labo.
Right, yep.
You can also play with Labo if you want to, for the VR experience. I mean, I'm with you, dude. Like, you already said in Mario Kart 8 that the system where you got a few amount of coins, you got a character or a car. But I would prefer having your own store where you can actually choose what you want to buy. And Mario Kart Tour has so many tracks and just different variations that I hope they're gonna do the same in Mario Kart 9, where they just keep adding on to it every month, like maybe one new track. Because Tour has so many good tracks. New tracks, like the world tracks with like Tokyo, London. They're gonna have Sydney soon, next week, so hype. Of course, the Ninja track, I don't know if you played it yourself, but that does not look like Mario Kart Tour track, because, you know, at the launch you only had really easy tracks like SNES and NES
that
tracks.
was like a fully fleshed out, like that felt it could be in Mario Kart 8, that sort of
easily, because it had multiple different routes. You had, it was crazy, so I'm just hoping that this is kind of like, I guess, a tease. And I'm hoping we're gonna have like maybe a World Cup into the next Mario Kart, but they also have Tour World Cups things, like you can play just world tracks if you want.
Well, yeah. Off the back of that, could you imagine that could be the Mario Kart
story mode?
Yeah, like some sort of weird, because it's a spin-off game, so it doesn't need to be one-to-one. Oh, this is the lore, because heck, you've got all the different characters. But the whole point of Mario Kart 9 is that Mario Kart is like seeping on over into the real world. So that's why you're getting London, you're getting Sydney, and it's, I don't know, you put little, Miyamoto in there or whatever, trying to like hype up, Mario's here now, and you're putting on a real world tour and all of that. You could have all the cross-brand sort of stuff with, they did with Mercedes for their cars getting in there. it would just be such a good time. The only thing I wouldn't want is the warp pipes. The loot boxes in there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, don't add gadget boxes because I don't think they will because they don't really have a history yet. Apart from Xenoblade 2 where they kind of have it, but it's still free. Like, it's not actual money. But like I said, instead of doing that, just add a shop or like add challenges to hard to get characters. You know, like I don't know. Because they have Nabbit into the game now as well, or King Babam. Like, make him a character that you get for if you do a certain challenge, right? You get 10 Babam hits in one race or something.
Yeah.
Like, do cool stuff with it. So people
Do that,
also
or
see you're being
even
good.
then, just you have like, and I don't want to see two different currencies like you get like in
Yeah,
Mario
just money.
Kart, or
Just money.
it's money, it's the coins and then the
Yeah.
rubies, right? You just want regular coins, and so the purchasing aspect, you could buy more coins. That's just so that you don't have to play the game as much. If you're someone that, I don't know, plays Mario Kart, you've stopped and then suddenly you've heard, you know, King Bobom's coming in, he's going to be the next, you know, character you can buy from the shop, and you're like, oh hell, I want him. So, but you haven't saved up the coins. You can just then go buy, I don't know, 500 coins for a $5. That's his cost, and then you instantly get him.
Yeah.
And it pulls you back into the game.
Pretty much the same as Crash Team Racing, and I think Crash Team Racing did perfectly how they handle it. Like, it's the best way to do it. Like, if you want to play, you play it, and if you really need the money and you have money for it, then you just buy the currency with your real money if you want to. And I think it would also be epic if they added the pointing system for Mario Kart Tour, just like an extra added bonus, like maybe a challenge or something. And skins for characters, because in Mario Kart Tour has so many different skins to characters, you can easily port them over to Mario Kart 9 where you can just change your skin if you really want to.
So
like, I don't know.
my only problem with the point system for Tour is that I don't like how it dissuades from coming first as such, because you've got to do all the extra stuff. But I mean, do like that you get more coins off the back of it. So
that's more why I'm saying like give it a different game mode, like just do a point game mode where. Because it is really competitive, playing ranked every 2 weeks to get the highest score. Like, I don't think it should be in a normal game, but if you want to, kind of like a time trial mode. This is like the point mode where you want to get as many points as possible can get in the race. And then I also think every car and character should all be balanced. Like, there shouldn't be a really big difference in how many points you get from a certain character, because that kind of takes away from the fact of playing your favorite character, because you know you want to play as a character, but you can't because you want this character for the most amount of points, which I think is cringe. And I'm pretty sure so did Christian Racing, because they changed it, but you can play any character with any speed you want. Because you first had heavies and stuff, and like maybe you prefer playing a worse character, but you can't because you want to win. So they changed it so you can play any character with any playstyle you want, which I think is the better option.
Well, I can remember.
Of course, it would also give coins a much bigger point to the game, because now you collect 10 coins, that's it. You know, you reach the full speed in Mario Kart. But imagine if they count towards your like your balance, your game balance. Like, collecting coins is actually something you want to do.
Because currently in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, like, collecting coins is good because it does speed you up, but it's not significant enough to really go out of your way, isn't it?
It's also annoying when you get a coin when you're in first place, and then at least you get something out of it when you get coins, I guess.
Oh damn!
Hopefully,
he's got some range.
Bonnie is professional player, only died twice. Wait, twice? What?
Dude, listen, dude. It was because of the parkour.
Was Bakko's fault, dude? Alright,
No, I said parkour, dude. Parkour.
Parkour.
Nah, I'm not blaming parkour. I would never.
You would never, dude.
But you're talking about professional players. One thing I would love to see is Nintendo start embracing esports properly. You get Splatoon and Smash Brothers every E3. And that's one thing we will go on to, because E3 now confirmed. But I want to see, like, Mario Kart esports would be incredible. And the possibility, could you imagine team-based Mario Kart? Like, where you've got, I don't know however they want to do it, but quite a lot online, you know, in the Wii U sort of community, not the Wii U community, sorry, the Wii communities. Because Mario Kart Wii is still like one of the most heavily played because of the modding to it. like where they do teams of 4 and they've got it so you can have 16 races on the track, so you have multiple teams racing at the same time. That would be so dope to see in modern Mario Kart instead of just like single player, because I love team aspects. For me, when I'm looking at esports, I'm not too big of like the one-on-one. Like Smash I can get into, but could you imagine Smash Brothers where it was like a 4v4 scenario and
That
it's
would be
one
terrible,
team versus
dude.
another? Because then you've got so much added strategy to it.
Nah, I feel like Smash 4v4 would be terrible, dude. I feel like they should keep it a 2v2 with each other thing. Because 4v4 is just too hectic and it's not fun.
Yeah.
Like, same will be with
I mean,
Rocket
they
League
keep
4v4.
it 1v1 right now, so that there's no sort of RNG. And to be honest, don't go messing with a format that already really works. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like for Mario Kart, like could you imagine instead of it being, how many races do you get at the moment on a track? 16 or 12? I think it's 12.
12, yeah.
Yeah,
12.
but you would imagine in the next update or the next game they would go to 16 because that's like logical progression. But
I don't know, dude.
Maybe
I don't know.
it might
I don't
be
know
too
if
many.
they've won, yeah, I feel like they won't need any more because I think they know 12 is the perfect number anyways. I don't think they need any more than 12, to be honest.
Well, at least in like, so 12 if you're playing single player, 16 online could be a thing, or you have the option in private lobbies to go to 16.
Or yeah, probably an extra option, I guess. Same with Smash with 8 people, just like some wacky option, I guess. Like not the main game mode because it doesn't seem functional, in my opinion. I think 12 is more than enough.
Fair enough. But I'm just saying, like, I would much rather have team-based Mario Kart esports instead of just 12 different players in the same like lobby. I guess it'd be quite cool for a championship, or you could, because I just think like the strategy of working off one another is that you're going for your combined score rather than just singular. Because you gotta think it's much cooler if a team like works together and gets second, third, fifth and sixth, they're going to score more points than coming first, fourth, and then seventh and eighth, for example, if you're doing 2 teams. Because they've had to work together to ultimately work out that strategy. The guy who's come first has done a fantastic job and has put in the weight for his team, but he could have just got, ahead early and that's it. He's just run away with it. Like you get currently in Mario Kart, don't you? Whoever's first at the end of lap 1 tends to have already won it because he's not included in the fight. He's just holding a banana out back and is safe.
And that blue shell happens, Monka. Blue shells ruin friendships.
Blue shells can happen. That's why if you're in first and you're holding on to the the speaker, super horn, like that's just nothing's touching you.
Yeah, I mean maybe they should do like F1, dude, where you have like you do have teammates, but you're not really actually teammates. You still play for yourself, kind of.
Yeah.
Because you still want to have the highest score. Because I feel like having big teams, like teams of 4, in this format would be kind of boring because I can already see one team completely wrecking the other team. Which is usually not fun to watch.
Yeah.
But who knows? It could be fun. I don't know. I'm not a visionary.
I think as well, like, because the interesting part and why Nintendo hasn't really got into esports, and the only reason they've ever done it is sort of with E3 and all of that, is esports at the end there is just marketing. It's either to promote and keep a game alive or for sponsors to get involved, like how Intel always supports ESL in their tournaments like Counter-Strike and all of that, whatever. And Nintendo doesn't see making profit out of esports because it's always at a loss. Because, like I said, it's marketing. So Nintendo just doesn't have any interest in it, do they?
I also don't think it's really their way of playing games is being competitive. Like, it seems that they prefer just having fun. Like, playing for fun and not competitively. Like, as you can see with Smash Bros, because they had all those items, of course. Like, I think they really want you to have fun with it. And people will make it competitive, this happens anyways, because people are just competitive. But I don't think that's their main option. Because I'm pretty sure the biggest prize pool ever, as far as I know, was $5 for, I think it was Splatoon tournament or something. So. It's funny
what was
because
it for? I'm trying to think. It was Splatoon Worlds, yeah.
it was something really small, and it's funny because when they showed the Switch for the first time, they showed like this whole uh, Splatoon
Yeah.
thing, and everyone was so hyped, but
esports
then
team, yeah,
it
in
never
the
happened.
That
Never
that
happened.
really hurt me because when I saw that, like, you guys know how hyped I was because that was truly a
Mhm.
moment for me, like coming from my background where I was like, oh my god, this is going to be dope. I've
Casting
tried
Splatoon!
casting Splatoon 2 esports and it is super hard, but the way
It is
those
so hard,
guys
dude.
look into Splatoon is insane. Splatoon could seriously be one of the biggest esports because it's PG, you know? The biggest problem with
Mhm.
COD CSGO is that it is purely an adult-only audience. Why do you think Fortnite has taken off so much? Not only is it so child-friendly and
We
it's
have
got,
Fortnite,
you
we have
know, all the
Fortnite.
stories around it, but they've just done it right for accessibility and fun alongside competitiveness.
Mhm. Yeah, for
I
sure. I mean, it might be a little bit hard to know what's going on, which is also usually a bad thing doing an esport. Like you want to know what's going on when you watch something.
Mhm.
Which is why Rocket League is probably pretty big because you can see everything is going on. It's not really hard to understand. It's hard to do what they're doing, but it's not hard to understand what they're doing.
Yeah.
Maybe Splatoon is a bit too chaotic for people to understand, but still, it would still be cool to see.
Like, have you guys actually? So I haven't played Fortnite since launch, and I played like 2 games. But have you seen what modern Fortnite looks like?
No,
Yes.
It
Funny
is.
answer.
Terrible.
You think it's terrible?
It's yes.
Because I
I think the majority agrees as well, by the way, because I see a lot of people always complaining about new Fortnite, even though I don't know the difference, but it is a really big
so
thing I usually see.
because you've got stuff like bots and that now running around in your online lobbies, don't you? Funny.
I'm
Like-
pretty sure.
I know about that.
I'm pretty
I
sure
know
they,
about that,
they have
dude.
been there for a while now. Though.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying
Season 2.
for older players and whatnot, because that's where you're going to get your like feedback from, Chi. You know,
Mhm.
that's terrible because you won only
That's
competitive
terrible.
games because bots are basically free kills.
Yeah.
But for younger kids who you got to think Fortnite is largely aimed at, that's good because they're going to be able to take down a bot no issue. Like that's playing the game on easy mode, and so it works really well for them. But also having actual players in the lobby means that they're probably not going to win at the end, but they're going to be able to get far and get that.
Give them hope and then
Oh, I
crush their
finished
dreams.
top 10, you know,
Give them
even though
hope,
there's
get
10
cocky,
players
you
in the
know.
Yeah.
lobby.
And then crush their dreams. Like, you
Kids
never
are
gonna
gonna
win,
be
kid.
like on YouTube. Wow, look, I got 20 kills.
I mean, the same with PUBG Mobile, dude. I played it for the first time. Hey, it was on you, but dude, you were coming over to my house. You were playing
Yeah,
PUBG
yeah, yeah.
Mobile, and I was popping off, dude. 20 kills. Then we found out it was just a bot. Like, oh, this is kind of boring, cringe. Uninstalled the game. Like, it doesn't feel good when you know it's bots. You know, it just doesn't feel as good as when you're playing as actual people.
That's because you're coming in with an older mindset. Like I said, for kids, they don't consider bots to be any different. They got 20 kills and that's awesome.
Thank
You
you.
know, because it's a great number. It's big.
I guess, dude. But like I said, Fortnite did a really good job of appealing to both audiences.
Mm.
That's probably why the biggest, well, maybe not anymore, but the biggest game that ever was probably. Especially with the hype, it's bigger than PUBG. PUBG was the biggest one on Steam, I think, with 3 million at the same time. So
Mm. And Fortnite, it's just crazy with the collabs it gets. Like,
I mean, I'm
straight
pretty sure that's
up-
all it has nowadays. Is collapse. That's all it has nowadays. Nothing else. Dude, they have Walking Dead in there. Like, why? Why is Walking Dead in Fortnite, dude?
They've just added Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn in there.
Why, dude?
They've got Tomb Raider in there right now, Lara Croft. You've got
saw that
all,
as
of
well.
course, all the Avengers have been in there time and time again, and they like
Star
play
Wars.
parts of the story. Star Wars, yeah, and I think that's really cool. Like, I again don't play Fortnite, but just from the outside looking in, you can't help but just say that's really cool what they're doing with it and trying to have this whole world where that actually makes sense because it's all parallel dimensions or whatever. And it's just really good for marketing, getting kids involved in these brands, you know, because straight up being like, oh, Iron Man's in this, that's cool. If the kids has played
Yeah.
Fortnite but never seen a Marvel film for whatever reason, they're like, oh, Iron Man, he's in Fortnite, let's watch that film. So it works great for Marvel, but at the same time, you've got, say, the dad there that's trying to connect with his kid, and he knows Iron Man because he's in that Marvel film, so he can actually talk to his kid about that and not instantly look in from the outside and be completely confused about what's going on in this game. So I think just the accessibility and the casual aspect to Fortnite is crazy good. You can hate on it, and people are always going to hate on it because it's such a popular game. It's cool to hate on it, right? But Fortnite is insane in what it's done, and it's really propelled the gaming industry to the point that Epic Games is now just massive. They've just got a 1 billion round of investment into them, with 200 million coming from Sony themselves.
I mean, I do think that's probably the main complaint is that they're probably adding too much to the game. Like, it doesn't just feel the same anymore, and people like the old school simple Fortnite over the crazy, you can do so much shit Fortnite.
Yeah, definitely.
That hurt the esport and the competitive aspect to it, because knowing guys that are in that you're in the middle of the tournament, like just say a week-long tournament, and Fortnite updates in the middle of it. So everything changes, all the guns, the meta and that changes. And of course there's no like test servers for that as such. So that's where competitive integrity goes down the drain. But that's because they just don't care about that, because the esports side of things, the competitive side, is second to their casual audience, which is massive for Fortnite, and you just got to live with that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it also makes sense why the game is, I'd say, dying a lot more. I mean, of course the game's gonna die. It's never gonna be the same popularity, except for Minecraft for some reason, which came back over and over again. But still, I feel like the main complaint, and with a lot of players, like Bonnie used to play as well, doing old Fortnite, but ever since, I guess, season 2.0, or the whole black hole thing, it seems they added too much on their plate, pretty much. Just too much stuff that kind of takes away from the core gameplay. And I think if Fortnite ever was gonna make like a single player mode or something else, like adventure mode or whatever, I feel like they could actually make a really good game. But I think for Battle Royale, it's kind
save the world.
Yeah, dude.
It died.
The world was there, man.
Bring the zombies back. But like something like that, dude. I think it could be a good game, but I feel like Battle Royale right now is kind of it's not really Battle Royale anymore. It just seems a bit too crazy to be Battle Royale. Then again, I'm also the player, so I don't know
I think Fortnite's just
dude.
Like, Fortnite's incredible because with each of these updates, like character updates, they bring players back. And you're forgetting how old Fortnite is now. It's been around for what, 3 years? Which for a game to be, I think, I can't confirm the number, but I think it is still the biggest game. You know, after 3 years, that's crazy, and it's to the point of you've got kids that will only play Fortnite, that don't play any other game.
We like Fortnite.
Yeah, which is incredible at one point, because I know, coming from the Rocket League community, there are kids that only play Rocket League and get absolutely burnt out and will, in a way, I absolutely hate them for using the term, but like depressed about this game because it's got no new stuff. It's getting boring, all of that sort of thing. But they put all these hours into it that it's almost a waste to go away and play something else because they're looking to go pro or whatever. Fortnite doesn't have that problem because there's always something new each and every, I say month, but it seems to be like 3 weeks or so. You'll get new stuff in.
Then again, it's not because they're playing because they want to be professional, probably, because like I said, professional aspect is kind of dying out. They're just doing it because they're having fun.
Yeah.
And with Rocket League, lots of people are trying to get professional. So like they put a lot of hours into it to master the game, to actually become professional. And I feel like with Fortnite it's getting less and less now because you're getting so much stuff that it's more to have fun than to actually become good.
Oh, I've got a good question for Bunny in a second about this, linking more to Call of Duty. But I was just going to say, Rocket League, the problem is that as soon as you start playing it, you can see yourself get better. Like with real football, with a real skill. Rocket League lends itself to the grind because you can see yourself improve. And when you get to higher ranks, where that improvement is going to slow down and become a lot more nuanced, then it can start to feel very sluggish, and that's when it starts to hurt. But at the start, it's a euphoria sort of like kick too. With Fortnite, you don't get that so much, and I guess, Bunny, I'm asking you this because it's got to be the same for Call of Duty, I think, where you have moments where you pop off, and that's the euphoria kick. That's the adrenaline you get, is when you get a sick sequence of kills, like, you know, a 20 kill streak. That's insane, but you don't see yourself really improve at the game as much, do you?
Well, I mean, when I first started playing Cold Warzone, I was trash. I mean, my KD was 0.2 or something like that. But I kept playing and playing, and I went to 1.5. So, I mean, I did get better, but, you know, Warzone is pretty much the same, you know, it's the same thing as Fortnite. It's not as great anymore as it used to be.
Also, with Fortnite, the skill's all about building, wasn't it? And not about actual gunplay.
Definitely.
Both.
If you're gonna be honest, the gunplay in Fortnite, if there's anyone out there who's saying that it's hard, hey man.
Yeah, but I mean,
you've never played a shooter before.
Yeah, so I feel like, was being talking about, you do see yourself going better at building, because building is a big aspect.
Of course. If you kept playing, you definitely get better at building. But that, it was pretty much the main part of the game.
Yeah, that's the main event of the game.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know how it is now, but like cars and stuff, it seems building is a little less of a thing to go for it, because you can probably easily destroy your build with a car if you drive into it, I assume.
Well.
And planes and stuff, like there's so much shit. Yeah, I don't even know what all the stuff they're adding, dude, but I just sometimes see a snippet and I was like, wait, they have planes now, dude?
The only thing
they have a zip line.
Yeah. I look on TikTok, dude, the only thing I'm seeing is that when you see someone, there's a fortress, you know? One second there's a fortress, dude. There's no chance you're getting in there anymore. You need to be able to build in that game to even get kills anymore.
I'm saying, dude, Tab G will beat Fortnite in popularity, dude. Totally accurate battlegrounds.
He's stating it right
now.
Poor it is gonna happen, dude. Totally accurate battlegrounds. But Bacon, you just hate it because you're too serious about gaming, dude. You need to relax.
I love Tab G because it's so silly and stupid. But it's never gonna beat Fortnite. Come on.
Yeah, it's more fun, dude.
Hey man, he can dream.
Yeah, dude, let me dream. In my opinion, alright?
Yeah, okay, right.
Talking about dreaming, dude.
With dream. Are we getting a with dream E3 prediction, dude?
We could do an E3 prediction in a podcast in the future. Why not, dude?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, because I'm looking at the time, we'll leave E3 for next week, boys, because
it's gonna be, then later on, dude, when it's more closer, I would say, to the actual event.
Okay.
I feel like it's better during June somewhere, dude. Somewhere in June, because it started June 19th, right? Something. June 10th?
No, I thought it was closer to like June, 10th, 12th, something like that.
Yeah.
But it's going to be an interesting one to see what they do. They went back, you know, on the whole paying for content, because we announced that last week, where it's like, oh, they're looking to have like a content pass, and they've now gone back on that, saying, nope, we're not going to do that, but that could be a thing in the future. They just want to get out what a virtual E3 is going to be like this time around, and it might be a case that they keep with virtual E3s in the future. Who knows? Because we don't know what the world is going to be like next year, do we? Like, we might be all fine with...
like this, dude.
Right,
I'm pretty sure this is the world after COVID, as what Bunny said. I think it's going to be like this.
Yeah, it's going to be like this. Yeah, you're looking at the gameplay right now.
This is a world 2022.
Can you go look out into the world? Like, give us a nice little spacescape to look at? Or
lots of fire.
Right. You're asking a lot of me, right?
That's just really not, like, somewhat pretty. I love spacescapes, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty, you know? All those devil signs. It's really pretty.
Yeah, it is pretty.
Great. Oh, there you go.
Sick.
There you go.
The world.
Oh, is that the amount of COVID or something, dude? Is it like
yeah. It's
the hotspots. The North Pole is just fucked right now. That's
yeah. Main event.
Wait, that's where we are, dude. No.
I hate to see it.
All right.
Rip.
Okay, boys. I think we should probably try and wrap it up here. I mean, the light's not flickering this week. We've got it just nice and bright. So this is probably like a good safe point to get everyone out, right?
Oh, they can fix it. Good job, Bacon. You fixed it.
Dude.
Hey, thank you.
To be honest, I'm gonna look at the scorecard for next week, and I've seen a few deaths, so we'll see if Bunny's back next week, dude. But it's gonna be,
We'll
it's gonna
see,
be,
we'll never
Oh,
know.
death.
it's gonna be no, a third death to the list.
Nah,
All
that doesn't
right,
count,
dude,
that doesn't
Okay.
count.
write it down.
Better be careful, buddy. Yeah.
See,
Where are you meant to go from here? Like, oh,
Okay.
right there.
This is gonna be a cliffhanger, dude. Will Bunny be back next week? You have to watch or listen next
We'll
week.
never know, dude.
No, if he's back.
That's it. So a big thank you to everyone for tuning on in. We love each and every one of you. Of course, I love talking alongside Chewbacca back here in the commentary booth. And Bunny, you're pretty
Hello.
good yourself, dude. Don't
Thank
you
you,
worry.
dude. Much
Maybe
appreciated.
come back. We never know. Maybe he'll come back next week. We'll think about
Maybe.
it.
Just maybe. If you, of course, loved listening to us, make sure to drop a follow over on YouTube, over on Spotify, Anchor FM, wherever you get your podcast, because we've got so many different places. Make sure to drop a follow there so that we can get the response and, branch out to some others, spread the love and all of that. But until next time, until next Tuesday, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.